how I get 2 to 5K music clients using the simple strategy called the music social funnel, and how you can too. So in this video, I'm going to break down the exact strategy that I've come up with that took my music business from 0 to 20K a month in 7 months. And by the end of this video, you should have full clarity on how to also be able to do it as well. So let me catch you up to speed as to how I even got here. So I started doing music way back in 2011 as just an independent artist, and I was on that grind. So I was stealing beats off YouTube, then I was buying them off BeatStars, linking up with producers locally and meeting people, doing recording sessions, paying for mixing, mastering, all of that. Got sick of it, learned music production on my own. I did that all via YouTube, and that was cool. I really got good at it. I got good at playing piano, producing, recording, mixing, mastering, and I was like, you know what? I've got some skills now with producing. I'm going to start making money as a producer. So I was selling beats online, doing recording sessions at the house, doing remote mixing, mastering, all that type of stuff. It was cool, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted to be doing. I was like, this is dope. Love this. But I didn't really have tons of money at the time, and I didn't have a good client acquisition system in place. So I went outside of the music industry to start learning marketing, digital marketing, and all of these different things. And so I started a social media marketing agency for real estate agents way outside of music. The whole goal and the whole point of it was I just wanted to make money to put back into the music. Ultimately, what happened though was I got sick and tired of it because it was not something I was passionate about. I learned a lot about marketing, business, sales, ops, client success, just different things like that, but it wasn't what I wanted to do exactly. So I pivoted back to being an artist end of 2022, and I got really good at marketing my own music. I even started selling CDs in the DMs to fans who were coming to me, and it was all coming from paid advertising. And I had a mentor helping me at the time, and he shared with me, hey man, it's really cool that you're selling these CDs for $9. Like, that's dope. And he was actually the one who helped me build that. But he was like, what if you could get someone, one person, to pay you 2, 3, 5 grand, right? You need to start doing something high ticket. And I was like, yeah, but like, I don't even know what to be doing. Like, what do I do? Do I do production? Like, what do I do? And he was like, you should start a high ticket coaching business. Now, mind you, I'm going to stop here real quick. The strategy I'm going to lay out to you, the music social funnel, you don't have to do coaching. Okay. I did that. Right? But you don't have to do coaching. Okay. One of my clients, Ange, who came to me as really a struggling music creative and music producer, she ended up getting 7 custom production clients in the first 30 days of us working together. And she's had clients pay her anywhere from $1,000 to $6,000. She's even sold beats in the DMs for $200-$300. So this can work for any type of musician, whether you're doing coaching, a custom production package, teaching, it doesn't matter. Okay. So I just wanted to preface that. But anyway, he told me, hey, like you should do something high ticket. And so I started Rapid Fire Music Academy January 2023. This is where I was teaching recording artists how to produce music, right? So take a step back here and realize what I was doing. First of all, I was working with recording artists. I've had amazing clients, but overall as a market, that's a very difficult niche. On top of that, I'm doing something really, really, really niche and specific, which was not just teach recording artists, but how to produce music. Most recording artists don't want to learn music production. Even with that, where I kind of set myself up for a difficult uphill battle, I was still able to go from 0 to 20K a month. And I've gotten clients for 2K, 3K, 3.5K, and 5K for that. Okay. And so I had a system where I was able to do this predictably. And so 2023, I went from 0 to 20K a month in 7 months. And in 2024, I doubled my business. I even did 102K in the first 7 months of 2024. Super sick. So I want you to watch this video so that you can understand how to do the same thing. If you're a music expert and you're selling cheap beats, or you're charging by the hour, or you're doing cheap audio engineering sessions, whatever it is, right? If you're an expert at what you do, but you don't understand how to actually predictably scale your music business and get high ticket clients, this video is going to change your whole life. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into the computer. I'm going to break down the entire funnel and the entire strategy. Let's rock and roll. All right. So this is the music social funnel. We'll go through everything, just starting from top to bottom, right? And I am hoping that this video, after you watch this and actually understand not just what I've done, but what you can do and what's actually really happening behind the scenes, there's going to be a lot of false beliefs broken. So starting here at the top, you've obviously got your target audience, and what you're going to do by attracting them is using paid ads. So contrary to popular belief, content isn't what attracts new eyeballs. It's possible to attract new eyeballs, and of course, people do it. People attract new eyeballs with content all the time. But I'm telling you from experience, from doing this for from doing music for over 13 years and grinding and like I grinded on content for 13 years, right? Shout out to Gary Vee, but I listened to Gary Vee and it was like, just grind on content. If you look at all of the other music business or music marketing or whatever to grow, it's like content, right? Content's important, which we'll talk about in the middle of the funnel. But trust me, it's not the easiest, fastest, and best way, and it's definitely not the most predictable way for you to get new eyeballs. So what I did and what I still do is I run what's called Instagram follow ads, right? Which you might be watching this video now, you might have seen one of my follow ads, but it's really awesome and simple to set up. Maybe I'll do another video where I break that down, but you running paid ads that's calling out your ideal client and calling out your ideal person that, you know, basically we like to call it your highest value client. Calling out that person and saying, give me a follow if you want to learn more, or give me a follow to start going through my content. And then literally just simply boosting the post on Instagram on your computer. That's the best way to do it. And I did this, and in my first $200 spent, I landed my first $3,000 client. With less than $600, like about $550 spent, I made 5.5K. So that's a 10x return on ad spend from this ad strategy. Now, it's not just obviously like they follow you and then they just like give you money. So there's more to it. The next part of it is after somebody follows you, we nurture them with content. So I like to call it a sustainable content strategy because look, let's be real. You and me both, like we're not going to fucking post on TikTok 1, 2, 3 times a day, maybe once a day, but not 3 times a day. Like everyone else, you got to post 2, 3 times a day. That's what you got to do. You just got to grind. You just got to believe in yourself. You just got to wake up at 4 a.m. Not like, dude, no, like not at all. Like I like to develop what's called a sustainable content strategy, right? So this is where obviously you build trust with people who have already seen you through organic content. So again, the content isn't what attracts new people. What attracts new people is the ads, specifically the follow ads. But then what's cool about running follow ads is when you nurture people, you're nurturing them for free. Get it? So like the ads is obviously what you pay for, but then people see you, and as you just post things organically, like they're going to see that. Makes sense? So again, the content and the nurturing, the middle of the funnel is not to get new eyeballs, but it will be seen to the people who already see you, right? And you get people to see you through ads. After someone follows you, right, and maybe they start seeing your content a little bit, the third part is converting them. And I like to call this conversion conversations, but it's not just in the DMs, but it's also on calls. But this is where you conduct DM combos to book calls to enroll clients for premium prices, right? So you attract people with paid ads. They're seeing your content, but you're actually sending them a DM. You're sending every single one of these new people who follow you a DM, and you're having a conversation with them. First of all, you want to qualify them. Second of all, you know, you want to see if like you can actually help them. The qualification is huge because you probably know this. I know this. Working with artists, right? Like, you know, like I mentioned to you in my Rapid Fire Music Academy, I was getting artists and a lot of them were not qualified. And so asking simple questions in the DMs like, hey, what kind of computer do you have? If they don't have a computer, which you'd be surprised, then they're not an ideal client, right? Some of my clients came in and they had to buy a new computer, but I'm talking about the guys who, you know, they're recording on their Apple earbuds on their phone on BandLab, and they're just not financially qualified. So these are the types of things you can find out right here in the combo, in the DMs. You obviously book calls, right? Book a Zoom call, do a video call, and you conduct, you know, you can call it a strategy session or an enrollment call or a discovery call, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't call it an intro call. And I actually don't really like the word discovery call because it kind of just comes down, that frames the call like they're just there to discover. I like to call them strategy sessions because that means we're really going to get down to business. But the point is, it's a call that's a video, ideally Zoom, Google Meet, something like that. Anyways, so that's that bottom part. Okay. So again, just reviewing, you attract people with paid ads so that you can have, you know, people actually coming in predictably every single day, no matter what. They're being nurtured for free with your content, right? And they're going to be converted through conversion conversations. One thing I did not mention, you can see here, there's like a triangle with the Instagram, YouTube, and music, right? So I use like those 3 things, right? Because we're musicians and because what we do is music related, I like to like, your music is something that should be part of your content strategy. Like with me personally, the way I was doing it was because I was teaching recording artists how to produce music. What better way to prove that to them than by putting out bangers, right? Now, my songs didn't need to get millions of streams on Spotify. I did not need a record label. I did not need to tour. I didn't need to sell merch. The music was purely the content, right? And then I'm using Instagram and long form content like this on YouTube, right? If you want people to trust you and you want people to pay you a lot of money, it's going to help you a ton to have long form content like this that you're watching right now. Okay. And then we go into the converting part. After that, obviously after you, let me drag this over. After you've gotten, right, you've gotten them to enroll and you've exchanged, they've given you money. This is where you get into the delivery part. This is critical though. And like I don't know why more people don't talk about this, but I call it scalable delivery, where you build a delivery system that you're actually excited about and over delivers for your clients so they stay forever and give you referrals. You know what I mean? Like I actually enjoyed a lot. I mean, actually, of course, I enjoyed delivering to my music production clients, and I enjoy, delivering to my clients now with the people who I'm helping build their music businesses. I enjoy it. Like I like getting on one-on-one calls. I enjoy that. I love getting on group calls. Think of this. When I was doing my music production mentorship, Rapid Fire Music Academy, every Monday night, we still do these actually, but every Monday night, I'm getting on there and I'm showing people how to make beats. I'm showing people mixing. I'm helping them. And I get off the call and I'm literally like, oh my God, I just got paid for that. Like I literally make money making music. That was the reality I was living in, and not just, a couple $1,000 here and there. Oh, and I still have to go Uber, Uber Eats on the side. No, I'm making 10 to 20K a month getting to make music. I'm excited about it. They get great value from it. And it was extremely scalable. Like really quick, I don't want to go too off on tangents and stuff because I do that a lot. But I have a quick story that's related to deliverability. So last year I went to Tampa, Florida. I went twice, but the first time I went was to meet my mentor, Austin Medlin, and we created a tiny little mini retreat. So it was me, Nick Neville, Selna Kim, Erwin Kronk, Austin, obviously, and then we had a couple other people come, like Alex Kerr. He also came out, and it was super dope. But I remember Alex Kerr, you don't know who that is, that's okay. Alex asked all of us this one question. And he said, could you get 100 clients next month? And what he meant by that was not the money thing. What he meant was on the delivery side. He said, if you got 100 clients next month, could you deliver for them? And basically the test of if you have a good delivery system is if you don't answer that quickly with like certainty saying, yeah, I can get 100 clients, then you don't have a good delivery system. And one of the other guys who was there said, no, like I that scares me even thinking about getting 100 clients. For me personally, at the time when he asked me, could you get 100 clients next month? Could you deliver? I'm like, absolutely no brainer. I could do that for sure. That is the level of conviction you want to have in your delivery system. Okay. By the way, in the very beginning of your journey, you're not going to have that. Okay. In the very beginning, you're going to over deliver, right? Like in the beginning of my journey, I was doing one-on-ones once a week for 3 months. So I could not do 100 one-on-one calls a week for sure, right? But in the beginning, you do what you got to do. At the very beginning, it's not just about scalability. In the beginning, what you really want to do is you want to at least get the excited part down. Like if you're really excited about your delivery and they're really happy, that's really all you need to do to get from 0 to 10K a month, right? But once you go to that 10 to 20K a month and then 20K and beyond, that's where you want to start, scaling out the delivery. So putting all of these things together, this is what makes, right, what I call the music social funnel. And I hope that this is broken beliefs for you, because likely what you're doing is you're posting a ton of content. Maybe you're running ads to a website. Maybe you're like, yeah, I run ads on Instagram to a website and I let people just go to my website and pick what services they want. Like, that's not a good idea. What you need to be doing is you need to be like, the great thing about running ads that grows your followers is it grows your followers, grows your audience, which increases the amount of authority and clout you have. Unfortunately, that's the way things go in this world. But you see my Instagram, I've got 38,000 followers. Before I used this strategy, I had 10,000. So I grew from 10 to 38,000 followers. When people see my Instagram, they're like, oh, he must be legit. And like, it's true. And now I didn't buy them from a fake bot service. These are real humans, right? So that's a big part of it. But not only was that, listen to this, I had 10,000 followers, went to 38,000. That's 28,000 leads that I was able to nurture and talk to and have the chance to have. I didn't have that many Zoom calls, but you get what I'm saying, right? It all boils down. And so if you think about it like this, right, if we just do some really simple numbers, right? I'll give you an example of a very real month for me that I had. Okay. Do I need to get the pen? Forget it. I won't get the pen. But here's a very real example. I would get followers for about $2. So let's do that. $2. Actually, let's get $2, right? I would run ads for, let's call it 50 a day. So let's call it 50 a day times 30 days. That is $1,500. So $1,500, and I would get $2 a follower. So divided by 2. So the number obviously is 750. Out of 750 people, if you, let's say you convert 1% of those people, just 1%, right? If you just convert 1%, and that's 7.5 people, and you're let's call it 7, and you're charging $2,000, right? You're making 14 grand. Actually, and let me do that number one more time, actually. Times 0.1. No, yeah, times 0.01. That's 1%. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, times 0.01. I'm trying to get the math right. Does that make sense? So this is the reality of how things go in this. This is really how it works. So listen, I hope you found value in this video. I hope this shifted beliefs, and I hope this showed you what was possible, and I hope you got some value from it. If you did, great. Awesome. I'm super hyped and happy about that. And I'm here to serve and support you in any capacity. And yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.